Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my fellow Concordians. Welcome to the Wanderer's Guide to Esterra Concord podcast. I am Luke, your wandering guide as ever, and this is episode 13, Winds of the World, Summer 2023, Part 2. Woof. Currently recording this on Wednesday, the 13th of September. Probably going to have it out the same day, if not the following day. Just to throw out some cool numbers, part 1 of the coverage of the Winds of the World this time is at nearly 80 views after roughly 3 days of it being there on YouTube, which is, nice to see happy numbers on YouTube. It makes my lizard brain do a happy lizard dance. Thank you very much for that. This one, yeah, same thing, just directly uploading to YouTube, so don't worry, you haven't missed a stream, it's all good. Right, announcements, big stuff. Number 1, as I did last time, and I'm going to do it again now, buy your tickets, buy your tickets,
Shit.
buy your tickets, buy your tickets, hurry up and buy your bloody tickets. If you have character submission stuff to do that. The character submissions close on Friday, the 15th. Do it. I submitted my character, was it either yesterday, day before, after being reminded to do so. And I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do it now. Submitting it right now, did it, done. So yeah, do that if you need to. Sort out your premium packs if you've paid for one. If you put your hand up for one of them, talk to Sam, get that sorted out. Make sure to collect your premium packs, please. That there is a constant thing of people just not getting their premium packs. I don't understand why. So many of them, really all of them, are really, really freaking cool. Like, get them. They're cool stuff. The bowl and the knife and the fork is awesome. I love mine. I love my Andashi cup. I use it all the time. I still use it. It's badass. I love it. I'm going to be very sad one day when the day comes and it breaks. I'm going to be really, really sad. Right.
That is when you glue it together and paint gold where the cracks are.
No, that is the day where I get a nice carved wooden box and I sit it in there and I close it and I put it on a shelf and I remember it. And I remember it fondly.
And he shall forever mourn.
Yep. Rip to cup.
I just bought my ticket live on air.
Hey, there we go. See, if Brazil Del Panoply can buy his ticket, so can you.
To be fair, if I can just barely buy my ticket, so can you.
So yeah, make sure you do that. Right. Game is just over a week away. The time approaches. Final training is coming. Get your stuff ready. Get your things ready. Get your affairs in order. This summit is going to be a doozy.
If I may make a announcement, also remember the Bordavarian Ramic Festival is happening as well, so it would really help if, maybe, like, say, with the pie competition that has a Facebook post, and, to sort out what competitions you're going to participate in or not.
No, good point. I was actually just about to bring up the festival. Yeah, Festival of Realms is happening again, as it's happened the prior Summer Summit, happening this one. Bordavar is hosting. Various fun competitions, dances and experiences to be had. Drinking competition, not alcoholic based, mechanic, quote unquote, drinking competition. There will be food judging, there will be pies, there will be food, there will be plenty of different things for you to get involved with. Please go check out all the relevant posts. Decide whether or not you're going to jump into anything. If I have the time in my rush to keep my character alive, I will more than likely be doing at least one of those competitions because it's neat and it's fun and I like silly times. Please support the Festival of Realms. It is my baby. I would like the baby to continue to grow and be healthy and foster fun, community branching things across the realms. That's why I wanted it as a player and as a character, because I love it so much. And I love
this
building
was
into
Luke's
the
idea. Do you want to disappoint Luke's child?
Don't you insult my child, it's my baby. I'll protect my baby with my life.
I remember you going up and giving your speech about the Festival of the Realms to the Senate. I remember that. That was so cool.
Enjoy the Realmic Festival or else.
Yeah,
You
we'll
would
something like
make me
that.
very sad.
Also, very curious on what realm shall be selected to host it next. Very interesting. But we shall see. Nevertheless, we have a Wins of the World coverage to get to. But before we do that, I would like to, though they have, for the most part, spoken already, I will, of course, very quickly rush through introducing my guests, that of Scott Markham, aka Rashid. Is it, remind me, is it Rashid
Machine.
L, bloody...
Just call me Machine.
Yes, yes, you are the machine.
I mean,
I don't know, you're putting in some fucking work. You're putting in some
That's
damn
technically
work with
heresy.
Concord, you know. Oh yeah, fair. But yeah, no, so yeah, Scott, go ahead. Who the hell are you? What do you do?
Hey,
Who the hell are you, man?
just with the mouth. Who the hell am I? Yeah. You probably see me in the Senate. Call me Rashid. You can call me Rodrigo as well if you want. Yeah, that's about it.
Excellent. Jimmy, who the hell are you?
It's me, Jimmy, otherwise known as Mathilde Del Panoply. Last time I got told off for not mentioning that I was the Minister of Foreign
You're
Affairs.
the title holder.
So now you know. I hope everyone's happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Of course, Melody, welcome back.
Hello, it is I, once again, Vid Whisperer, still on the quest to gain her knighthood. If there's a kingdom to serve by the end of this game.
Why
It'll be
didn't you say who the
fine.
hell are you to Melody? What is it about me and Scott?
Because this is Melody's third time, and that demands respect.
It's our second time.
Yeah, exactly.
I have experience.
Oh,
Melody has tenure.
Melody, you're gonna have to sit the next one out so we can catch up.
It is. So,
Depends on what the next one is.
that is a good point. Yes, so prior, in coverage of the wins, we made our way from the first primary article, our way through as much of everything as we could, up to Leaves Amongst the Forest Floor, in talking about Berserker. And now, we are up to Gone But Not Forgotten, a very sensitive article for a variety of reasons, but nevertheless, it is my chosen oath-sworn duty to cover the wins of the world, because it's fun, and I like appreciating good work. So, basic version of this. The rundown is a memorial has been built for the war in the tribe lands to those who have fallen and the victory won. That has been altered as per the betrayal of 5 members of the House Avalon in the Kingdom of Bordovar. Their names being removed from this monument, and they being noted now, named as traitors. And the tone, especially, by various individuals, as mentioned here and there throughout this particular article, is very, very grim, as would be expected. Yeah.
Did anyone not know that his name was Charles, or just me?
I'm sorry.
I
Charles
mean,
Winston. That's awesome. I like that.
Father Winston's first name is actually Charles.
Yeah, Chuck.
I just thought
yeah,
it was
Chuck
father.
Winston.
His first name's
Chucky
not father.
Winston, baby.
Now, here's the thing. So I learnt his first name, I think, my second summit. So like over a year ago. And yeah, the second I heard Charles, my brain was like, oh my god, he's Father Chuck Winston. That's really
That's
funny.
so cool.
You know what's blowing my mind is that Leah freaking Avalon are first names. That's doing my circuits in. Because I just assumed Sir. Yeah, Avalon. Like Sir, I thought Sir Leofric was.
Say something that's probably. No.
You know what, golf Jimmy?
No, I can't.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's like there's that thing of like, if you're a lord or a sir, like you'd use last name. You wouldn't use your first name.
No,
But that's funny because I just assumed that Father Winston's name was just Winston. I just thought he was like a peasant that didn't have a last name, and his name was just Winston, who was a priest. Like, I feel like that was a fair assumption. I didn't know.
But yeah, so I mean, look, let's call it what it is. This is a big thing. This is very, 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 very big. A betrayal, for want of a better term, a betrayal of this magnitude.
It is a full-on.
This is a cataclysm. This is horrible.
And this statue going up, and what is written on it reminds that betrayal. Also, I know that there is a section in here about Duke Aelin seeking, and in particular the Duchy of Heart scribes and historians are seen in the company of soldiers bearing the crest of Duke Aelin.
Oh, yeah, fair point.
Had declared that the traitors' names would be struck from Bordavarian history as best as local historians could manage. Duke Aelin
counterproductive, but fair.
Duke Aelin is a priest of Stalia.
Yeah. Would you like to know a very fun fact about that? There is a part of what is still considered the Concordian Church of Divine Spheres, as it has not been removed and purged from the Church's processes. And I only bring this information forward because it's on the wiki. Fun fact: a group of Stalian priests, I believe 5, can just come together and say, "This thing gets struck," and from that point forward, that thing is not allowed to be talked about anymore.
But I was under the impression that didn't mean destroying. So
No,
I
it just
wonder
meant,
if
like,
Galen
walking
was
away,
recorded
steal
in
away.
separate
It would be considered serious heresy if anyone spoke of it.
More like turn that topic into a very bad taboo.
So the impression I got is the point of that is to protect that knowledge from getting into the wrong hands, right? I feel like what's happening here is it's like actually destroying them.
It's a bit vengeful, isn't it?
Well,
Which is
yes, and this is why I point this out.
probably a sin, but that makes it really interesting.
And this is why I bring it up, because it's an interesting point that, like, technically he could do this, and by church processes, it's by Stalian, by the way of Stalia, it is not
And
a bad
it's not
thing.
like he was like purging other records. It was just Bordavarian records, and as the Duke, then
Still,
kind
the
of
Star
his
Serpent
right
and
to rule his
Tonebearer
land,
might
right?
come for you.
But yeah, like obviously in Bolivar we take our pride very seriously, where apparently now to the point that if priests of Stalia go, we don't want this to be a prominent part of our history, please.
I'm very much on the other side. Like, again, as someone that's not playing a Bordavarian character currently, from a player's perspective, this seems like this could be turned into remember them as traitors, remember them as what they are, because this is a time for a learning experience, rather than we'll struck it from history and and that's just it, and we'll just sweep it under the rug.
My character definitely doesn't plan to forget these names.
Your character was going to build the library. This is the opposite thing. What your character would want.
I'm still trying to build a library.
Yeah.
I don't need to be senator to do that.
It helps though.
Does it though?
No, it doesn't.
Exactly. Anyway,
yeah, this is it's big. Like, especially that point. Good point out there. Like, just wanting to sweep it from history. That's. Ugh.
I remind everyone to think of what it would be like to be some poor random Bordavarian farmer just waking up doing the same thing every day and just hearing this news. What a fucking nightmare that would feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, oh my god, we're fucking doomed. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, like, and I think that's maybe what this is kind of invoking, because the flavor side talks about and the game information talks about the first banner being very, very conflicted with what's happening, and probably to an extent there's probably plenty within Boldivar of nobility, knighthood, and commonership that is probably very torn on not just
House Avalon,
the betrayal.
Well,
that's the thing,
really
not just the betrayal.
Big part of Bordivar.
Yeah,
the entire
but also
time.
Yeah, but also what the Duke's doing, like what Duke Aelin is doing in striking them from history. I imagine that's gonna have consequences if that goes through, because this says there will be opportunities for this. So it'd be the case of maybe this hasn't, at the coming summit, that's when the choice of whether or not that goes through will happen, and thereby we will see the result.
But I also want to remind everyone who is listening to this, Skittles has full control over retired characters. Just because you as a player decide to retire a character does not mean that they cease to exist. Skittles has access to the character's build and the backstory that you have written for them. And obviously Skittles is going to hit up the player later when shenanigans are happening. And considering these 5 characters were very big characters, just on their own, and this was a very big event. I don't think Skittles is going to let their names fade into obscurity forever.
No, I agree, especially with the last line of this thing saying, basically the wise council will not forget this and will not let it go lightly.
Exactly.
So, no, I have a feeling this is going to stick around for a little bit, which is kind of neat, because we get to see sort of the aftermath of something like this play out kind of in more or less real time, which is super interesting to observe, because we're used to seeing, from real world history, we're used to seeing equivalents of this, maybe not this exact sort of thing, but we're used to seeing this stuff from did we just lose someone?
Jimmy just dropped out.
Oh no.
Okay. Hopefully.
Brazil, no!
Okay, hold on.
What is the procedure?
Call for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, no!
Yeah, it's fine. I will do my best to sort that out. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, so we have the case of, this is something that, we're used to seeing this from afar, as people in the real world, whereas now we get to sort of see this much more close up, much more like boots on ground, which is a really, I find it interesting. I find it fascinating. In a really kind of morbid way, almost.
For the Tribelands to have gone through one of the most bloodiest war, and then have this physical reminder of who put their people through that, and then just up and left.
Yeah, this is what I love about this whole thing is I feel like it's not a stretch at all to say that the war against Sister Oak and the Tribelands was a bloodbath. Like, it was literally just blood everywhere to curse, and the losses were like so immense that this conflict has to be remembered in some way. I mean, this is where Sister Oak, who had a huge army, I believe it was about 7,500, finally got completely shattered. And the desert has just soaked up so much life. Is Jimmy messaging? Okay, he said help me. Shelf Goblin's me. That's
Oh,
Jimmy's
sorry.
yelling. Anyway, but I think it's cool that the Triland's got a monument now, because Nazafeza has a monument too. I think it's like a rock with a bunch of swords in it. What is going on?
He's just lost of power and his internet's gone.
Oh no!
Can you get on with this phone?
Hold on, I'm on
This
it.
is.
You guys keep going.
Well, anyway, yeah.
By the way, Luke, he is in the waiting room.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
Let me get out, boy. You two continue.
Get him out from the null.
Fuck's sake! If I can go
Anyway,
in
Scott,
and find
as you were saying,
yeah,
Scott.
go on. Keep going.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I should say it's cool that there's now a monument in each territory of Andash to absolutely insane bloody conflicts where a lot of stuff happened. Here he is.
Hello.
Okay, gonna need to adjust your volume now.
Yeah, my ears probably shit. The spheres have decided that I must have said something offensive. I've been hit by a light bolt or something, and now my internet's fucked and my power went out for it.
No.
There's a big storm out there today.
This is kind of what we get for choosing to record during a storm.
Yeah. Oh, this is a pain in my ass.
I was honestly expect me to drop out first.
Yeah, I don't know. It might happen to you guys eventually. It depends on how the weather goes. Holy shit.
Yeah, anyway, back onto, monuments being very terrible reminders of very terrible times.
Wait, I think my internet just came back.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I guess we are on standby.
Yeah, this might be a good time to cut.
Yeah, no, we don't. I told you we don't edit shit here. It all stays in, baby.
Alright.
It all stays in.
Well,
It's
I
fine.
wouldn't bother. Don't change my settings right now because I'm about to be back on my other computer.
Yeah, alright. Look, I've got it ready to readjust. It's fine.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hang up on this one and transfer.
Stay on the damn thing. Damn it, Jimmy. I've done this before.
Jimmy, no!
If he just stayed on the call, booted up his PC, and then just pivoted, and then just joined the call on the computer, it would have just instantly switched.
He's in the waiting room.
For God's sake. I can't have
Look,
anything today. It's fine.
Jimmy may be a priest and a maid, but obviously technology gets the better of all of us from the Concord.
Jimmy's got a really elite streaming setup, just gotta say, it looks mint.
I'm
is it not
just
doing-
imagining the audience just fucking cackling at this absolute scuff.
Alright, roll here.
I would like to.
Round 3.
I would like to remind.
Are you going to stay, Jimmy? Are you going to stay with us?
Staying here, buddy. You good?
What do you mean? It's not my fault. I got fucking hit by lightning.
It's fine.
I
would like to take this time to remind my viewers and listeners. Every stream I have, there is always a technical difficulty. So far, we had nothing with this one. Yeah, it's fine.
This was an act of God. My technical stuff is fine. This is not fair.
There is always a technical issue with the stream.
This is not technical. This is environmental. There's an environmental issue with the stream. All right.
Definitely the stone bear. That was stone bear.
The bear is angry.
Something fucking wind.
But none of us are in the Iron Valley, though.
It doesn't matter. the bear strikes where it wishes.
Oh,
So, I mean, do we? I mean, unless any all, of course, have any other remarks on this particular article and its situation they pertain to. Yeah, go ahead if you have any. I don't want to say closing thoughts per se. Yeah, I think I've said what I need to say for the most part.
One of the nightly valors is vigilance, where you hate the traitor, and you stay aware of those who are most definitely looking to be less than good. I'm so sorry, just that whole side adventure with Jenny. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be one of those characters who is not going to soon forget.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's we all knew about this. That's the thing, is because it happened at the end of the last game. So I think this once again, yeah.
There were so many rumors even before that summit, and none of them got taken into the church for a full-on proper inquisition of what was going on. They were shoved off as rumors and hearsay.
This Winds of the World, it's mostly just like making sure that if you weren't already aware, you were. So I think that we are definitely going to see the repercussions of this more at game than here in the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
But very exciting to know.
Going to be a lot of work to put in, especially with like cross-realmic communications and diplomacy.
Yeah. Poor Portify, they've had a rough start with that.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse.
It'll be fine.
Join the Concord to get help with these zombies.
Is anyone an expert in divine pest control so we can deal with this problem?
If we were, I'm sure we'd all be having less problems right now, right?
Yeah. That sounds
we
like
used divine pest control years ago.
That sounds like a magic school project.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, any ceremony to affect the undead might actually be a good idea.
There
are still a few of them, though. I'm surprised nobody's brought this up as a
there really isn't, though.
The ones coming up.
40,000
strength. Just lay down that fucking ceremony.
There is a Lumos ceremony that basically makes one region so that living humans who die and most definitely don't want to be resurrected will not be resurrected.
Sure,
Sounds like a pretty good option right now.
I'm looking less like. I mean, okay, yes, that needs to be performed, absolutely. But I'm thinking more a preventative measure of like something that just hurts the undead on a massive scale.
Well, we used to have fire, but then somebody decided to make that a war crow.
That has not been fully put through. We still have fire, and even then, it was cleared to be used on the undead anyway.
Yeah. So there you go. Make a bunch of fire bombs or something. It's always a good idea.
That is already on my list of things to attempt to put through either at headmaster or to a headmaster. It's fine.
We most definitely have. We most definitely have stronger ceremonies, unfortunately, to the same of devastation as Rivers of Blood.
And not to
so
mention,
whether
that ceremony is a Lumos ceremony, and the biggest Lumos sect that I knew was well, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you know Gilbert Baron of the Greenwood, he is a Lumos priest, I believe.
Oh,
he was a panoply priest.
Yeah.
You could be too.
Yeah.
I know Saskia was a Lumos breed.
Let's move on from this very unfortunate event.
Well, anyway, yeah, let's move on.
Move on to more unfortunate events.
Yeah. So yeah, harsh place for Bordevar and the Concord as a whole, but you know, the Concord is nothing if not resilient, as has been proven time and time again. So moving on to Brick Upon Brick, a rather humorous little anecdote put through about basically just a slight mechanic change to some stuff. This is in essence Skittles kind of getting calling himself out in a way of just like in game calling himself out, which is kind of funny for those that are not aware. Symposiat Gavril is Skittles' NPC character for Concord. So he's kind of calling himself out here a little bit. But this is in essence just a slight retuning and clarification for how the what is the term? The commission of, you know, the custom commission option under the commissions that both the Senate and the individual realms are able to do. This is just
a great work, I believe, is what they're referred to on the wiki.
Is it referred to? I
mean,
I'm not sure if it's changed or anything like that. It seems like he's used a different language here, but it just used to be called great work, and the description was whatever you want to spend money on.
Yeah, basically these are how more specialized commissions such as
just custom commissions.
Yeah, just full on custom commissions. Aside from the standard list, realms can already choose. Such as Brazil wanting roads.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that one up, but thank you. I don't need to advertise roads anymore. They're gone forever.
It was the greatest meme to Concord for a while. Okay.
And now we're going to die. I hope we're all happy. I hope we're all happy for laughing at me.
Look, if I don't laugh, I will cry.
Well, look, time for laughing is done. It's the time for crying now.
I mean,
this is the broken year.
We can laugh in fear. We can laugh in fear. I like laughing in fear. It's fun.
Well, you better get used to that.
Oh, I am. Don't worry. But yeah, so this is just giving a slight update.
This is a really good option.
Yeah, this just clarifies stuff. It also makes the choice of sort of when a custom commission is done, sort of, I don't want to say bottlenecks it, but it kind of bottlenecks it a little bit, which I don't think is a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
I think, I think to bring up the roads that I did not bring up the first time, mind you, but to bring up the roads, I did put a lot of thought and care and planning into that. And I don't think anyone can consider that a throwaway custom commission. No. But I think that there have been times where that's been the case. No offense to people. And I think that something like this will probably encourage more thought and more preparation when it comes to bringing custom commissions to the Senate, because, you know, like, so it's my understanding that a lot of the commissions we have are based off of the Empire system, and that's tried and tested and it works, and that's why those types of commissions are available, and that they're, you know, the original, you know, picks that we've got. Like, you know, if you can't think of anything else, here's the stuff that we know works, but it doesn't mean other stuff won't be interesting and engaging. You know, the idea of a country building monuments to celebrate wars won, and building, you know, siege machines and cool things like that. Mm-hmm. That's like quintessential, I don't know, I'm a big strategy game player, but that kind of thing it's so important in that strategy kind of element to be able to be a bit creative with it and to add a personal flair. It's our story that we're telling with the Concord, us the players, right? So it's good to be able to say, but in a way, because as it really does, you could see by the tone of this that like Skittles was sick of reading through so much shit that's probably not very well prepared and probably very little time. And so you can tell that he probably likes it, he wants to do it. And this, I think it's a really happy medium.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Two proposals that the Senate put forward for Summit, right? Which, that's going to put those in hot demand. I mean, it's going to mean that whichever one gets
last
through,
day kind of thing, yeah.
It's going to be talked about. It's going to be something people can think about and wonder about during the off season. And it puts.
Well, it really will be, right? It'll be the most.
It means you got to put your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah.
You've spent a Senate presumably a motion on it.
That would theoretically be more scarce than like resources, right?
Yeah.
And those are a resource to use in the Senate, I know that for sure. So that I think, it's going to be really interesting to see what people come up with.
The most thing I really see of this is this encouraging, over time eventually, I think the player base to be a bit more thoughtful and sort of planned out of what the custom thing is. I think it'll be a case of people putting a little more thought into the idea as a whole when it is submitted. I mean, you'll still have your spur of the moment things of like, do this thing because we think it's a good idea, and like, yep, that's just a good idea. Fling it to the team to sort out the details. Done.
Yeah.
Right, and uses up the one. Like, it's good. Yeah, this is just a very happy medium. It puts a little less work on the team in those moments, and especially making it clear that it is you can put it forward for the appraisal, and then it will be appraised and then judged whether or not it will be viable in the following season.
And I think it's also going to give the team time to come up with plot around these things, right? So I know the fortification in Bordevar was the source of some kind of, I don't know if I want to say storylines, but opportunities to name towers and there's a bit of story behind it, and I think this will probably give the team time to think through what's going to happen with this particular thing.
That is if it even gets the chance to be finished build.
It'll be fine.
But anyway, that
depends where they try to build
it.
Yeah. So, this is just a happy update. I'm very happy it was done. That. I'm happy it was given in like a little comedic packaging. That was quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sister Irina setting those impossible deadlines. Like, what's she doing?
Working hard. Right. So, on to one that is very near and dear to me personally, in a very cool way. Eastern Arcane Medicine. To put it simply, we have a new ceremony for Arcadian priests to learn. It is magnitude 25, and it is very, 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 very tasty and very timely. Ward of Ironclad Vigor. 25 magnitude. Arcadian sphere specifically. To give you the basic version, this is the Purify spell, and in part Alisar's Antidote, combined together to affect a region. Along with, there is one.
I
extra...
wouldn't say it is that powerful.
Well, no, that's exactly what this is. This is the Purify spell and Alisar's Antidote, partially slapped into a ceremony. It affects all maladies. It does not affect wounds.
Expensive, though.
Hold on. There is the second part to this, which is all farms and herb gardens in the region will function as one tier higher.
Nice.
This is just good. This is just straight like this. This affects stage 1 Blastostrek Plague.
Yeah, that's like three. It's like 2 different types of potion and another type of ceremony, all wrapped into one thing. It's very, very good.
And this is very. I think 25 magnitude is perfectly fine for this. This is just.
Yeah, frankly, honestly, I mean, like some of the ones that affect entire region's production are like with 40. You know, so that's very good.
Yeah. So the reason why I say this is near and dear to my heart is this is an idea I sort of started propagating a while ago. Idea of like, what if we just took Alisar's antidote and just made it a ceremony and smacked it over a large area? Like, imagine this sort of thing. We could imagine this, an advanced version of this we could use on Vassatile to help cleanse it and purify it.
Just throw a potion into a entire countryside.
Yeah, like imagine. This is gonna sound very silly. I like to imagine like you perform the ceremony and like a little like Arcadian sprite comes out with like a humidifier or like one of those like electric incense burners and just sticks in the Alisar's and just starts wafting it around a bit.
That's cool. I could imagine that. Stranger things have happened. The fucking soldiers of Storm and Stone and shit, right? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they go with.
The Iron Fairies.
Iron Fairies. I love that. I adore that, actually. Partakers.
They'd be very angry if they're Arcadian, so be careful.
But yeah, this is a cool ceremony. I mean, obviously other people, you know, I wasn't the headmaster. The headmaster was working with other people to get the wording appropriate with it. Other people obviously liked the idea, wanted to put forward the idea. I guarantee there was probably one or two other people putting over the idea, but I know for a fact I was. I'm very, very happy this is here. I did not expect the extra layer of affecting herb gardens and farms. That's awesome. I adore that. This is just a cool ceremony. I love the flavor idea of it being Arcadian. The idea that like Arcadian, you know, it strengthens sort of the person. It's the idea of strengthening the home and the hearth in a way.
Our Arcadian, one of its tenets is to basically care for your mind, body, and soul. Don't push any of them so far that you would become sick. You need to care for yourself and struggle wisely.
For the struggle is divine.
That's a very, very keen take, actually. That's very,
Yeah. No, this is
nice.
Yeah. I do not have much more to say on this. I like this. It's fairly balanced.
I'm not Arcadian, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, this is, you'll give a shit when this starts pulling in some fucking.
I never farm a herb garden either.
Yeah, but you wait until you get plagued.
I can only relate to it and talk about it if it directly affects me.
Mm-hmm. I'll make it directly affect you.
Oh boy.
One day, Brazil will wake up to crows by his windows.
I already do. Haven't you heard? Fucking crows everywhere, man.
Now, one day, Brazil will wake up after a night of drinking, and we'll find an
One
empty
day Rizal
potion
won't
bottle.
wake up.
We'll find an empty potion bottle on his bedside stand with a note that just says, "Enjoy the plague."
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I fucked up that bad and misread a label that poorly. That's the kind of thing I would do. Emperor's New Groove style.
Yeah. You just start morphing into a fucking crow.
Yeah. I don't want to be the new Thorn.
No.
That would get me killed very quickly.
You will not be
passage.
halfway through. You will just become a bird.
That's kind of better, actually. I prefer to be a crow than whatever the fuck Thorn was.
We have the very weird wolfman.
Yeah, you could be a bird, man.
Oh shit! I actually never considered that. I have shot circle.
I had to go on that, and that sucked. It was too scary. Too many werewolves.
I remember that, Jimmy. That was funny.
That was terrifying.
I gave James the shortest sword the Concord has ever seen, and he had to be in the middle of a very heated melee.
They made me hold the fucking heart thing. That was horrible.
Yeah, it's a problem. Thank you for doing it.
No, I just don't like being hit and hitting people.
Look, if you have a problem with wolves, if Rizal has a problem with wolves, don't have Rizal come in.
I've got a problem with anything trying to kill me. That's my problem. If it's a wolf, sure. If it's a bear as well, anything that's gonna hurt me, a person.
Brazil
the economy,
does not
definitely.
have the blood of a daredevil.
I'm sure I do, but I don't have the blood of a warrior. All right.
He's a negotiator.
Yeah.
Diplomacy.
Look, we don't need to get into that.
Yeah. So.
But anyway.
It's really good to see new ceremonies. And I remember, like, when I first started, I don't know why, I just kind of assumed it would be like a fixed state. the game. Just like, here's all the things you can do. You know, kind of like fucking World of Warcraft or something, I don't know.
Sure.
But it's really cool to see that they're still, you know, putting in.
Yeah,
putting
I mean,
in
that's the
with
point
all the cool
of
content, you know?
Yeah, that's the point of stuff like Magic Schools, is you can inject new things into the game.
I like ejecting them too, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was also the case of like, we've done 2 potions, we've done technically 1.5 potions. You could argue that the Leech Bane is just the upgraded Iron Blood Tonic, which wasn't really being taken for the most part. So morphing it into something more useful, I think, was a solid move. But yeah, it was high time we did a ceremony. This was really just a really good idea to do. I would not be surprised if we see another ceremony at some point, because it's a neat idea to explore. Of like, now that we've seen, like, I don't know, it could be the case of like this one just being knocked out of the park so well might end up being the case of like maybe the next one's maybe ends up being a little wonky, but I'm gonna remain hopeful and optimistic because this one turned out brilliantly. But speaking of hopeful, unless anyone has any other final thoughts they would like to make on this particular article.
No.
Scott?
I would laugh if after this, Skittles made like Arcadian iron fairies. After he used
I'd be
the
so
string.
happy. I'd be so happy if
Skittles, commit.
Peer pressure.
Okay, then I will have a job. The hub will become the king of the Iron Fairies.
Oh,
well,
boy.
good luck.
It's fine. I'll just hit the gym like crazy.
Yeah.
You better be hitting the spiritual gym. These are magical creatures.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'd be hitting the books if I were you, if you want to be the king of the fairies, right?
Nah, it's Arcadian. Gotta hit the Iron Church.
That's a good point, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet if you just scream loud enough, you'll summon them.
You'll
be their king. That's just how you do it. It's like animals.
Mm-hmm.
You just be the loudest one, and then they have to make you their king.
Mm-hmm. Scott, any thoughts you would like to present?
Not much. I like that it produces an effect on plant life that's very on brand with sort of this subtle theme I've been seeing throughout Arcadian so far. Don't want to comment too much on that, but yeah, little tidbits showing up here and there for people who like to try and find connections in the lore.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. I like that.
I do like, it's a nice through line to a couple of different things, you know. If you figure it out, you figure it out. But there is that really nice connection as well. I like that there is that connection between Arcadian and Servitus, because they both have very much plant sort of
that
growth
that
stuff
flow
through.
in
It's a really nice through line for those two. I think it's super
cool.
neat.
It's cool. Yeah.
All right. So the thing with feathers. Oh boy.
Jimmy, are you ready for this? Are you okay?
Look,
okay. Could I just ask a question?
I don't mind birds.
You can ask a question.
They're all right.
This is about Lumos, right?
Yes.
Why is it called the thing with feathers? I mean, this just instantly draws to mind like Big Bird from Sesame Street to me. Like, I'm just trying to think of something that's yellow with
that
feathers.
Was your assumption.
I don't know what this is.
So
I think I know exactly what this is trying to say.
I can more or less tell you. So, as I had from Skittles, I believe it was from Skittles' last training. I believe it was either from Skittles or someone else. But the idea is like, no, it was from Colin, from Iron Valley.
So the Sajat.
So thing with feathers. This is in reference to, I can't remember what literary work it is exactly, but this is in reference to like what is hope. It is a thing. It is the thing with feathers. Yeah. So this is in reference to hope.
Birds is hope.
Yeah, being described. Yeah. I mean,
so
we often see...
this is in reference to a poem or quote.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, a bunch of these
are very well read on the SGT.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a neat detail to learn. I thought it was actually quite fun, quite fun. I don't quite remember exactly what it is. I'm sure if you know what it is, slap it in the comments. Educate us occasionally smooth-brained.
I've got the poem up here if you'd like me to read it.
Sure, if you would like to read a small stanza.
Go.
Sure. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul, and sings the tune without the words, and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
Oh, that's
very nice.
That's really good.
Well, glad we read that out.
Well done.
That's nice.
Thank you. I've got a beautiful voice.
That's quite good. No, and if anything, that for me, that sums up both player and character, sort of the view of Lumos. It is, you just have hope and you just believe. That's it. It's that thing of conviction, which can be twisted to a negative way. Part of Lumos is
justice.
Well, we've seen an example of where that might be twisted the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's bring out the justice side of Lumos. Don't mess with the big bird.
Well, no, that's the thing. I didn't say justice. I said conviction. That's the difference. It's not justice.
Hang on.
No, it's
like
they're not about justice per se.
Well, it talks about justice just in this passage.
Lumos, before the big patch, mainly emphasized defending what you believed, whether that your personal truth was that something big had to be done. You had a certain structure on how justice was done, or so on and so forth. Like you can read in Bordeaux's history, I think, whether or not that was patched out, I don't know. That Lumos priests in the Kingdom of Bordeaux, because there was the King's Truth, which is what Bordeaux's structure basically is built around, of these laws that were made by our 150-year-old dead kings. Multiple rules and ethos.
That's the word. I was looking for the word.
Sometimes if people were spreading serious doubt about the King's Truth, there will be a full-on witch hunt.
Yeah, that's true. The thing I was referring to is just a few sentences kind of further down in this section. It just says, further the same between the Lumos priests that sought to bring justice and those that sought to bring truth has begun to tear arguments about the nature of Lumos in front of civilians seeking comfort or push more darkness, and they'll bring them into light. So I think one side of Lumos is sort of the protective side, right? It's the is it the setting sun? It's more about
the ashen moon helping the weak. About sacrifice, I believe.
If
the setting sun.
If I may if I may say something about House Avalon, which were kept secret, that House Avalon is a night, and they had a code that was to ensure no false kings rise. And considering the circumstance that one of the rumors is this is something that Sir Louis had admitted himself that the leader of the Marble Gauntlet wanted to raise our dead king. And so House Avalon, with their code of basically be loyal to the king and let no false kings rise, brings up the question of, is King Arturius Bordavar still King Arturius Bordavar, even when he's rotten flesh and bone?
Mm-hmm. Again, it brings up that side of Lumos that is holding conviction, even if, holding strong to it. It does still invite self-reflection, but, in a way, they've held to the conviction, which is why I say not every aspect. A lot of people like to say, this sphere has the most potential to be bad, when they're not really. I don't think they're necessarily paying attention enough to the spheres and the specifics. Because I believe every single one of these spheres can be used to commit atrocities. And in the name of the spheres, very, very easily.
As we have seen with the Depth Reckoner, a being that was most definitely divine, but not a herald of panoply. That was a terrifying thing to live through.
And interestingly, panoply's not even like a difficult one to point out. A lot of what some people may not be very happy to hear, Servitus can be very easily used to commit atrocities.
Yeah, for sure.
It really
Absolutely. Of course it can, yeah.
I find that's like whenever I hear anyone going like, oh, Stalia, no, it's the darkest one. It's the one you could easily use to commit atrocities. No, it's the obvious one.
The fascism sphere.
I think the only thing that they really have as evidence to connect it to bad things is the dream in the witch house ceremony.
Also
which
speaking
does,
to dead.
Which does connect to what we believe to be a very bad and NPC character. But
yeah. So
even
knowledge,
knowledge
isn't good or evil. It is knowledge. Do with it as you will.
Yeah, which is and that's kind of my point here. Is it's not even the ceremonies. Like the Star Serpent really encourages you to protect knowledge and preserve knowledge. So it's the case of like you could use that as justification to do some really horrible shit. Same thing with the machine. Same thing with the labyrinth. Like and their heralds. Same thing. You could use any of them easily. It's just that it's obvious that you could do it. With the others, sometimes it's a little more layered, but it's still there, and I love that.
And the example I was going to use for Lumos is love and protection can become overbearing. Sort of they call it the Oedipal mother figure in mythology, and that's not saying the witch is a Lumos figure or something. It's more related to Stalia, but the idea with the witch in Andash is that it's a figure who is protective and loving, but that can go too far, and that can be kind of an issue in Lumos if it turns into Inquisition,
A mother hen can definitely smother its chick.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be some big decisions for Lumos priests and the High Priest of Lumos themselves for the upcoming summit to do what they can to help not reignite per se, but invigorate and brighten the hope across the Concord, because we need it. We'd be very glad to have it, and I'd be very excited to see what comes of that.
You would definitely be very surprised on how much like Lumos is actually part of each realm's lives.
Indeed.
I think it's interesting that they make it clear that the Concord has lost hope. And I'm inclined to agree with that assessment, right?
I wonder why.
That's why I like that the team is aware you know, and that they're obviously thinking about it. That's something that's really, really cool, I think, right?
Yeah.
Because they could just as easily just let the world truck on and everybody has a shit time. And then, you know, instead they're actually listening to not just like the community, but how our actions are affecting like a world that is being thought out and you know, interacts with our experience playing the game.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. The broader world with everyday imaginary people in it, and you can have a finger to the pulse of how your actions are making them feel.
Exactly.
The millions of people.
To make it feel more real.
Yeah.
You know?
And very much in this instance.
And we also need to remember that we are nations at war as well, and war comes with a lot of trauma, and trauma can definitely strip hope from some people, depending on the severity.
Often is the way though when one finds themselves plunged into the darkest of shadow, where almost no light reaches. The dawn that comes from that darkness is all the brighter for it.
That's very nice.
So, we shall see where things go.
We shall see.
Speaking of darkness and dawns, and plunging into things, the church got a new toy. I'm super happy for them. It seems super neat. Lot of stuff. lot of shit went down.
I love this. I have the quote up on where this title's from. To use it well. So apparently Rene Descartes, who famously said, I think therefore I am, said it is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is to use it well.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I love, and again, that's another thing that I'm like, yep, that in terms of my character and myself's personal view of like knowledge and sort of wisdom is, it's not enough to have intelligence and wisdom and knowledge. If you let it sit there in a very panoply way, if you just let it sit there and it does nothing, it's worth nothing. Yeah. You're not doing anything with it.
It is not the sword that makes the man, it is the man that makes the sword.
So it's also the point of the machine in Stalia, right? Is it's let it stagnate, use it to move forward.
Yeah, the point of the machine is
learn, create, invent, and so on and so forth.
Indeed, the machine encourages us to make cars, so we shall do so.
Nice. I will say I'm fucking desperate to get my hands on this pulpit. I'm doing that past life vision.
If for the coming summit I get the opportunity as part of my character sort of seeking out the soul healing, as it were, I would love if part of that is like, oh yeah, no, you got to go touch the pulpit and have fun with the pulpit. Like that would be neat to like, because I don't interact with like the church side of the game too much. I mean, they did so last summit just for what happened. This would be neat for like getting my chance to sort of dip my toes into different aspects of the game. It probably won't end up being that, but like, that's still super neat. Like, I love the church has this. I love what it does in that you get to sort of have the opportunity to glimpse your past lives, or life, as it were, as the case may be. It's a super neat idea.
Yeah.
It's a way to sort of...
I want to see what the ST team comes up with.
Yeah.
You know, like, how closely are they paying attention to our characters? Will they be able to give us an interesting, an insightful look into a past life on the fly? Because that would be fucking difficult, right?
Absolutely wild for Bolivar if even one of these visions has a glimpse of King Arturus.
Melody, between you and me, I've got my fingers crossed.
In his days of youth, like not even be King Arturus, though that would be a whole other can of worms.
Yep.
But to have the knowledge that your soul once lived in the time along with the founding king, people would go mad.
Yeah, just be a neat detail. I do like the little detail that it says, it will require effort to attune it.
I actually have some information on this that I was told might be in character information, but it's just a mechanical
let's maybe
thing.
leave that to the side.
Are you sure? It's not bad. We're all gonna figure it out in a minute anyway. I'm either wrong or I'm gonna give. It's not spoilers. It's just like how much it's gonna cost. What do you mean?
I pay good money to come to this
Hold on.
If
Is this information that will be learned at the summit?
It was learned at the last summit by me.
But was it learned by anyone else? And was this learned in?
It wasn't in a private setting. It was. I was talking to Alex. Just bumping it around as they, the podium was there, and I was like, I want to give it a go, and he was like, oh, it'll cost this much, which I won't say yet until you wanna. But then he said it's also, we just got it and it's not been charged yet. So, and then I tried to do it anyway. I gave it a try. It didn't work because it wasn't charged, obviously. But it's
So this.
I like to think that gives me first dibs. By the way.
So this conversation that went down between yourself and the curate, this was done in character.
Yeah, more or less. But it's not like this is information we know about the podium. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people in Stalia know about the podium as well. It's common knowledge.
All right, we should probably move on.
I'm a follower.
Ask your friendly local Stalia priest; they'll tell you.
Yeah, I am a Stalia priest.
Or wait a week. Just be patient, audience.
Yeah.
Jeez, who do you think you are?
Yeah, let's save that as a fun tidbit for the summer.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, this is cool. So speaking on the side of I'm gonna say it in reference to the Shard Circle, and I want to be clear. I'm saying this is a joke. I'm saying it is a meme.
We're out of character. You can say whatever you want. That's
no. I need to clarify this for what I'm about to say. Given that I am playing a character that is a part of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, aka Mage Club, aka aka Mage Club, aka Shard Circle,
aka Nerd School, Lamau.
Okay. Sure. Nerd Club would be more accurate. It's not really a school.
Well, there is a school. I got my
two of them.
mixed up. Ignore me.
But yeah.
The high-level study group.
Yeah. So being that, because we have the arc line, which requires attuning, it requires repairing on the occasion, and it lets us shove crystal mana into it, and it does cool stuff. This seems like sort of the church's version of it. I don't know if it'll use crystal mana. I imagine it would.
I know whether or not it will, but you can ask
Jimmy.
me. Just saying.
But yeah, this seems like a similar thing of put resources in the magic thing, and a magic thing will do a cool thing. It will require attuning. It's cool. This is an interesting aspect of game. It also presents, as the article does say, the idea of getting other spheric artifacts to a similar power of this and what it could do.
Wouldn't you just love to hoard magical artifacts? Wouldn't that be cool?
It's not even a point of hoarding. Like, maybe
fun.
This pulpit is...
You mean the point is use it well?
Yeah.
Well, if it's going to get, lost or destroyed anyway, then,
Well, no.
I'll treat it with respect.
Yeah, the point I'm getting to here is, there's the thought of, maybe we look into Niccolo and how he made his window and look into making
I've
one
been
of our
saying
own.
This since fucking years, alright?
We're working on it.
No, we're not!
No. Yeah, because you're not in the Shard Circle. We are working on it.
I am in the Shard Circle, thank you very much! I'm a battle mage!
The Shard Circle
I'm a battle mage!
Can I comment on something
that
I've just spotted? Thanks, Jimmy. What's interesting is that this is from the Cathedral of the Iron Star, so it's in Vastal, in the Greenfield. People who seem to be born in the Greenfield have used this pulpit and seen visions of souls that once existed in other realms. So the impression I'm getting is a Greenwielder has seen the City of Spires in the past. They've seen the burning of the Headwaters Palisade, which I believe was in the site of Loronomia today. So I guess it's not an assurance that you're going to see your own realm. And that's very interesting that souls can be reborn in other parts of the earth, I suppose.
Well,
I've been saying this for years. Your soul could be born in the past for all we fucking know.
Yeah, it's the case of it's like the soul isn't going to be like a, you were born Andashi the first time, so you're always going to be an Andashi.
Yeah.
No, you're just going to see a glimpse of the past.
You can't game it. Yeah.
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 There are ways to game it.
Sure.
There was one guy who did one time, right?
What?
The Buddha. What do you mean?
Yeah, but that
So
doesn't
they
exist in
claim?
Concord, so it doesn't matter.
As far as we know, right? It's all Buddhism anyway.
Okay. Technically, then in that context, Niccolo is.
Anyway.
I don't know if Nicola's a Buddha. He's more like a bodhisattva or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know.
No, he's freaking Copernicus and Galileo in one.
Well, don't give that game away, Scott.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, fucking whinging about stars earlier. Now you just fucking giving all that shit away.
Can we just delete that bit of audio then?
Yeah,
No,
can we
sorry.
edit that?
No.
Censor that.
No.
If
No, you
I
suffer.
find anybody ever repeating those words, I will fucking sue you.
I don't think.
I take it back
Let it be noted.
in a video game.
The James Falzon has made a threat of sue.
I'm not
If
a
you
lawyer.
say Copernicus or Galileo, Jimmy is coming for you.
It's true. I purchased the rights.
My next character shall be named Copernicus Galileo.
There's no living estate to either of those people that can sue me after saying that, right? That's free game. Surely. We'll pretend.
But yeah, getting back to the point though, yeah, this is super cool. I love that the church has this other fun mechanic thing they can interact with. It's going to make elements of like the sort of market aspect of the game, getting resources and stuff for different things. It's going to be super interesting.
And if you thought the Shard Circle was getting up to suspicious shit, it's going to be the church now.
What's suspicious about recovering magical artifacts?
Oh, nothing. But anyway.
It's fine.
Same. It's going to be harder to point the finger now.
But yeah, there also might be, because there is a list here saying, people that attended the recovery of this pulpit will be receiving some information about the sort of experience of that, which may lead to some other super cool information. I also love, again, I want to point out, it was called the Church of the Iron Star, which suggests that this was a church to Arcadia and to Thalia, which is a super fun combo.
Actually, that's really interesting because characters invited to the battle outside the cathedral, which couldn't happen because of weather reasons, I think, had to be selected by the High Priest of Arcadian. And then characters involved in the conflux inside were selected by the High Priest of Thalia. So I think you might be bang on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, it's been made very clear. The Iron Stag is in fact a herald of Arcadian. So was it Servitors? I don't remember. One of the two. Point is, that connection was kind of pretty straightforward. But still, neat that was played out. I actually did not know that particular aspect. I knew Stalian priests were involved. I did not know it was a, Arcadian in one, Stalian in the other. That's still very cool.
Yes.
But yeah.
I'm very keen for the next section.
Well then, let's roll on to. Oh,
yeah.
Oh god.
Species.
Okay, introduce species. Okay, so first off,
So-
I'm
And a
just
very
gonna
sad
say
prairie dog.
rip doggo. Rip doggo. Rip to a real one.
Did a dog
Hey,
die?
hey.
I haven't read this one either.
It's like, no, we don't know if it's
Jimmy.
dead. We don't know if it's dead.
Let's
We got some Stranger Things shit happening in
This
here.
looks like bad
tell
news.
you what a prairie dog is. A prairie dog is not an actual dog. It is
It's
not a
a rodent.
canine.
Don't care.
Yeah, a prairie
Okay.
dog is a burrowing
What do you-
rodent.
Why did they call them dogs?
It is.
First of all-
Riddle me this, science.
it is an odd thing.
First of all, just glossing over this passage, the first page of it makes like a shape with words. Has anybody
Does
figured
it?
out what the shape is? Yeah. Yeah. It's like
I think Skittles might have just been really drunk on the typewriter or something. I don't know.
No. No.
could be a lot of
this-
things.
So this
To
is
me,
the
it
fucking.
looks
This is
like
the
a
witch
snake.
message all over again.
it is a
No,
bit. I love
this
that.
is
Also,
obviously a mistake. Just ignore it.
to me, it looks like a cobra, but it could also be like an hourglass, sort of on an angle.
That's some wonderful pareidolia
Okay,
you got
Scott?
going. Scott with that cobra. What
Scott,
the
I'm
fuck? It
gonna-
looks like a shoe to me.
I'm going to assign you some homework for the upcoming training. print out that page, do a SketchUp of what it links around to, and come show me that on at training. I'm curious on what it is.
I personally think that Skittles was more looking for this arrangement to be more have a poetic aesthetic about it, make it all that more otherworldly, because these experiments are fucking weird.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely a picture. Definitely.
I think we should go get a medical checkup for Skittles just in case it's like head trauma or something. Just in case.
Look, I confirmed on the episode I had him on, he does in fact sleep, so I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that'll solve it probably. Whatever it is, it's fine.
Maybe it's a whirlwind.
But yeah, this is...
Where are you pulling these shapes from, bro?
I think it's a snake coming out of a basket.
Look, sometimes the blue curtains are just blue.
Yeah, have you noticed that? I think it's just like the pentameter that you're supposed to read it in.
No.
Gulp. After.
I'm more of the English teacher type.
I'll read this like it's a
gonna
poem,
mean something.
if you want.
Yeah, do you want to read
it does mean something. It's called
it
being exciting. I'll read it in the way that I think it's supposed to be read based on how it looks. It is dark. Expanding nothingness, like ink dropped into water, is spreading across the sky. A tear, a break, a crack, rips through the openness and swallows the stars in the sky. Gulp after starry gulp. The wind shifts, then swells, then howls. Blades of grass and petals of flowers fly. Dance briefly, streaked in moonlight, joining the voided masses. The grass grows slowly at first, then faster, and faster, and faster. It grows until it towers over all. Then it is ripped from its roots, shafts of green taller than the spires of Omicron, consumed in an instant, before their height can be noted. A prairie dog appears from a burrow. It does not hope, does not know, it does not fight. It is. And then it is not a prairie dog. It is a roiling hunk of much more flesh and viscera than it had in life. Then it is not at all. Absorbed by the nothingness. Then it all stops. I'm not going to read the rest of it. That's the only part that wiggles around. There you go. Yeah. That's what I think it looks like.
Well done, bravo.
It's very... So, this does kind of connect to... If that was very good. You kind of sounded like you were losing your shit halfway through, which is kind of great.
Yeah, I just started to go with it. I just felt this is the kind of thing that somebody who's losing their shit would read, so I may as well.
Yeah, like I was getting H.P. Lovecraft vibes of like just dropping some acid and just going nuts.
I got H.P. Lovecraft. That's awesome. Yeah, when the fucking prairie dog turned into soda, this was it for me.
Yeah, this shit's... It kind of connects to the previous thing we had on the Adrenaline Cabal. They sort of explored their experiment, the idea of like plants and things around making like words and circles, and it's weird. Like,
I hope this was worth Westwind's fucking Judas Silver.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, this is in... So we've had 3 descriptions like this. So we had one in the winds. The last...
We don't need to discuss the theories too much.
Yeah, we won't. I'm just saying. You know, I'm jumping up and down right now because my character got a letter describing... Anyway.
That's in character knowledge, my brother.
Yeah, okay. I can't even say that I got a letter. Anyway.
No. We just got a letter.
Come find Rashid at training or at game. If you want.
No, that's cheating. Well, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
It was 12 crystal mana.
You are taking advantage of character knowledge. You know how to do that. Dare you?
But yeah, it's interesting. This is
wow.
This is wild. This is an absolutely wild. Like, this is more wild than like the last one was interesting. This one's even more so because again, it's a bit more stylized. It leaves very vague. Like, okay, it's making stuff grow, and then it's just ripping it from existence. Maybe.
They're obviously not succeeding, unless they're just really bad
they're
people.
Just testing. Like, it kind of indicates they're just testing.
Yeah, because of course, I'm not getting into this fucking argument. I've had this before.
Like,
why else wouldn't they want Book of Rim? It's a fucking wasteland and nothing. It's the perfect place to test nukes and shit. Oh, what's
yeah, it's like how Oppenheimer, wanted to test it.
Yeah, this is fucking Mukarem is the fucking Bikini Atoll at this point. Like, holy shit.
No, it's New Mexico. Yeah.
It's fucking all the above. It's horrible. That used to be my baby. We're not getting into that.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, there is a good detail here. Sorry, you finish, Melody, but I have just noticed an interesting detail. Go ahead.
I most definitely get the sense that this is definitely something very powerful and likely very painful if you end up trapped in this, like the prairie dog. Like I am definitely, very much black hole vibes from both of them.
Yep. The interesting thing I've noticed is it does make mention of the researchers saying, for a moment it seems the connection was severed, but it seems like that's what they were going for.
Yeah. Right, they're gonna turn us all inside out. I hope you're all happy.
So severing the connection is what they're trying to do, and the dog interrupted that.
I would say that seems what it presents to me.
Grammatically, anyway. Yeah.
It's very. Yeah, this adds layers to the whole Adrian Cabal big fucking, continent-wide question mark.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It's nice to note that they're not, it doesn't make mention of the Almai continuing any attacks or raids or anything.
Which sucks, because I wish they would.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's we're mentioning it, the research side of it, we're not going to mention the outward struggle and situation. I don't know if it's a case of it's not happening anymore, or they've just not written about it. And it is still happening.
Well, I mean, this was 51 pages, maybe it was just cut for time, who knows?
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe it's being kept concealed on
forget about a whole war front.
Okay.
Skittle's got a lot on his plate. Alright.
This is true. But hey,
He's gonna forget stuff.
I
forget everything.
Good old Rashid is gonna, our Senator of Mukarem and Ash is gonna have some stuff to do, along with our.
You thought you evaded the Mukarem curse, but turns out yours is the worst one. So Westwind was actually he was the lucky one to die.
So you say that?
Yeah, Westwind set this shit up and then dipped.
Yeah, so the curse might actually just be on the senator positions, full stop.
Yeah, I don't want it.
I've said it before.
But that's the thing.
Mukarem is the defense against the dark in Harry Potter. You get 1 year.
1 year and you might die at the end of it.
No, something will happen to
you. Or you might just leave, like Brazil did.
Exactly. Something will happen to you.
Something never wonderful, never good.
Now, again, I still think I've come to believe it might be, it's affected Mukarem 2 years in a row. Now, recently, it's the Tribeland Senator that recently died.
Well, we'll see what happens with fucking Adrian Cabal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I think is curious: is if nothing happens to Rashid at Becoming Summit, nothing major, then I have a feeling it is just on the senator positions, full stop. Which is neat and weird that this just keeps happening. It's really weird.
Yeah, makes you think.
Yeah, it's a neat. It's like accidentally a really weird and neat thing. But no, go ahead, Melody. You were saying something.
But what if a senator from a different realm outside of Andash died?
Well,
they haven't. That's the interesting thing.
Why would you say that, Melody?
Yeah. What if? I don't know. What if somebody just died? I don't know. It wouldn't be me that did it, but.
Yeah, I don't know. What if someone just threw
into
a grinder?
I am
oh my
more
God, that's
curious.
a horrifying picture.
if Luke is labeling all senators or just Andashi senators.
No, I firmly
Just
believe
Andashi,
this is
frankly, yeah.
the pattern so far has stuck to Andash senators.
Yeah,
Well,
it is
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah, it's hilariously weird.
This is Rashid's like last month of possibly being alive. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
I
this is
just
the
We don't know what
I
happens at the end of this game.
Gosh, I just
Might
don't want to
not
be the
die.
professor that had Voldemort hidden under the turban. You know, I'd
Well,
rather be
fortunately
more
for
like.
you, this is not Harry Potter. This is Concord, so you won't be. Fortunately.
No, so it won't
That's
be.
great.
Yeah, so it won't be on the back of your head. It'll be latched to your soul, though. That will be a thing.
What the
Don't
hell?
talk about shit latched to souls, please.
Uh-huh.
That's already happened. They
Yeah.
can't do that to this senator of Slytherin.
Yeah, that happened to Jimmy. So you're evidently that guy.
Mm.
Anyway,
Speaking of Andash.
speaking of Andash, yes. Two people,
Huh?
one realm. The call from the Almai has come, and indeed, it believes that a path forward has been presented.
We get like a Dreamtime story here. This is really nice.
Once again, it is a very beautiful like story / poem.
But no, I guess on the broad strokes, this is a better outcome than I expected to come from the Almai situation. This is just fine. Like,
Yeah, they seem to have taken a turn and become a bit more kind of engaging culturally. Like they're
That's why you should always just ignore these things when they come up, because I think that's what we all did on accident. The online got no letters back, and they thought, "Oh shit, maybe we're not as cool as we thought."
but it's
they got letters. Everyone
Come on,
tries to.
guys.
yeah, like this.
We didn't like do it en masse, did we? Did anyone actually go to the cave?
We can't actually talk about that.
No comment.
What
That's
I
a
would
good
say,
point.
what I would say is that it is public knowledge that literally everyone in the Concord was like, "Oh shit, we messed up. We love you guys. We love you guys. Please talk to us."
Fuck the Almai, man.
And I think it probably just came across that we're like terrified of them, and they're probably trying to say, "No, look, we actually have a message. We're not just asking for things." And now they're saying, this is what we're trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. This is great. Like this is kind of what because look, the Almai never, in my mind, didn't like they were being very, very, very civil and very polite, all things considered, for what was going on. It was actually really good to see. So them coming forward and going, all right, okay, you're clearly seem to be very, very responsive to this. All right, fine. Here's the idea. Instead of being, and this is the way I've been describing it to people of my own person, this is kind of the way I view this. Instead of having the sand and the stone Andashi being two sides of the same coin, it is instead two rings that are themselves whole, that are linked together.
Well, I would just advise, be careful choosing your city name in front of these people. They made it very clear they're not fond of that, right?
Well, that's the thing, though. That is a part of what is going to be happening at the coming summit for Andashi, is which part of the culture are you a part of? Which are you nomad, or are you sand, or are you stone? And this is sort of that. Which one are you? It's not necessarily saying, oh, how dare you have a city name. This is like, no, which one are you? Own your culture, own your cultural part is the way I choose to see this.
Yeah,
I think it's the way it's intended.
It's very optimistic.
What's happened a lot is we've had many Andashi, myself included, who've gone, oh, I'm actually, I'm a mix of both. I'm from both cultures. But then turns up to Passage and it acts entirely like a city Andashi. And I think what the Almai are asking for are people who will come to Passage and represent quite fully the interests of the Sand people, right? Rather than just having that as kind of a badge that doesn't apply. You can't say
Sand people will get sued by Disney, bro. Gee.
But rather than just kind of, having that as a badge that at Passage doesn't even mean anything, it can be the identity of supposedly half of Andash at Passage, which would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really nice outcome.
Yeah,
I love this. This is cool, and this also means like we might see a lot more details for like more in-depth stuff of what it means to be an Endash of the Sands and an Endash of the Stone. We might see a lot more distinction, a lot more interesting little like cultural stuff come forward a bit more. Like this opportunity abounds for really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
How I saw this Almai situation when it first happened, because the Almai only really stirred up because they were basically being ignored in their needs and requests. Meanwhile, the sands were getting more and more dangerous to actually live in, and they had little to no answer to why.
I could get into that in character, but I won't.
Yeah.
There's
probably
like,
better if we have that.
This is a very layered thing, which is cool.
I know that both Jimmy's character and my character have very strong takes on that kind of thing in character, I suppose.
From my point of view, basically how I tried to explain it to the senator of both of us so that it will be a bit easier for him to understand that this is a full-on riot. Basically, imagine a lord, duke, or king, someone who was higher up that was meant to take care of these people and the land they stood on, and they full-on neglected them. Thus,
well, that's the claim. That's the claim.
Well, the thing
people can make
defenses.
The
thing I would
emphasize,
though.
Can I finish? So they full-on riot because they felt that their autonomy were being stripped. Whether this leader figure basically started to tax more out of them, or invited some very shady strangers basically in these people's backyards and went, yeah, it's fine, go about your day, it's fine.
I agree with that, to be fair.
Yeah, I would agree the Adrian Cabal part was certainly cited in game as one of the reasons.
Either way, these people had a limit, and it hit, and it drove them to this. Knowing that they once again have agency, especially when making up a fuss and causing trouble, there is definitely hope that it won't get to this point again, but we have yet to see the future of the Concord, whether the requests of a people will be ignored for so long until the cork pops.
Yep. Definitely fair assessment.
Like this is the first time that this has ever happened, I assume, in a very long time.
Yeah. I'd say so. You know, when you have something as big as the Concord getting Endash involved, you know, something was going to happen eventually in some form or another, and this is just the thing that happened. Not to diminish it per se. Yeah, it's neat. I'm curious on what this like name choosing ritual is. The Almai that our ego has learned from the Almai. I'm very curious on what that is.
Hold out both your heads. And in one hand I'll give you a rock, and in one hand I'll give you some sand.
You
choose. You gotta eat the one you like.
This is like a Matrix blue pill, red pill.
Yeah, but you have to eat some kind of sand or rock.
Is Patty gonna wear these awesome sunglasses?
I don't see the problem in eating rocks. It's just, is it called gastrolith? The birds do it. No, it has to be like silicate rocks from the fucking ground, alright? That's good for you. It helps you digest. It's actually good for you. Dinosaurs did it, birds do it. Not many mammals, surprisingly, but I think we could give it a go. What's the worst that'll happen?
Cool, Rizal could be the guinea pig.
Yeah, I'll be Rizal the rock eater. See it right.
Well, they're not.
Luke, it's 6 o'clock, and
I don't know where that came from. I don't know why you're giving me shit about the orangutan comment, man. That was.
Why are you bringing up orangutans again? We couldn't get through a whole fucking episode.
Brazil the rock eater. I mean, you call me.
That's got nothing to do with monkeys, you psychopath. What's wrong with you?
Calm down.
Monkey, somebody get this man checked. He needs some kind of assessment.
Saying, you've got
why is there monkeys in this man's brain?
Go eat your rocks.
It's fine.
I will eat my rocks, you monkey man. Gee.
It is worth noting as well. It does specify, not all Endashi are required to do this. It is if you wish.
Good. I'm not going to have anybody tell me what to do.
I'm definitely, if I can find the time, I'm going to do it.
I like my sand name more than my stone name.
That's fine. Then you just
but I'm a stone guy.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
So I picked the wrong name.
Own your roots. Well, okay, now you can be...
Because I don't want to do the sand. That's boring as shit.
Well, change name, go to the stone.
No, I refuse. This is why
Accept
I'm not going to do it. No.
Yeah, let's all hear Rizal's stone name.
I just said it like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. Did we say it on the pod?
I think we just did.
I don't think we did.
Oh my god, I'm having premonition.
Anyway,
talk to Jimmy in character if you want to know his stone name.
God, why does it sound wrong?
Was that from another call? How have I managed to?
No, you did. No, you did say it whilst we've been in this.
Don't
I don't know
gaslight
if it got
me,
said
Scott.
No. Legitimately, I just don't. I can't remember if we said it during the recording or prior to the recording. I do not remember.
I don't remember anything.
It is
well, you'll never know.
It is most definitely during the recording. People comment the timestamp. Jimmy revealed his stone name.
My stone name is Rodrigo. I've decided.
Fuck.
It's not being used anymore.
Oh boy.
I've heard that one's free.
Nah. I'm gonna move us swiftly.
That
on.
would be the funniest thing I ever did.
All right, Bucko.
And I might have to now.
My fitful sleep, anyway.
It's been recorded.
We're on to our third Andash section.
Yeah, this one's fucking hilarious. I love that every Wins of the World has one that's just funny, and this really could just be boiled down to: the tower woke up, said, "Hey, send out a text message. Hey, you up?" Got no response because you were told don't respond to the text messages from this person at 2 a.m. Went fine. Went back to sleep, and the tower was like, "All right, fine, fuck you," and just went back to sleep, and that's it. That's
very polite
exactly
of it, though.
what happened.
Yep. Got left on red by Andash.
Yep. It's like, you up? And you said don't respond, and that's it.
Yeah, that was actually funny. I recall the title holders of Andash. We had a little meeting to discuss this exact issue.
I was there. That was quite fun.
And I think the question raised was, should we basically let people hop out of bed and sleepwalk across this plane of knives or whatever? Are we chill with that? And I think there was just kind of a weird silence. And someone was like, no.
Yeah, this is in character information.
What? Well, it's in the past. I mean, we've made a law about it. I talk about that.
Regardless, it seems like a lot
of
public knowledge looked at this and was like, yeah, let's not. That seems like a bad idea. And just collectively agreed and just went, yep, cool.
Probably a smart call, for being honest. Shows that some of us are switched on.
Yeah, I did receive I did receive this 2 a.m. text from the tower, personally, character-wise. It was pretty damn trippy. Speaking of trippy,
Eddie was definitely freaked out a bit.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a good time. Like, the spiritual wound was a bit weird, but I made it work. There is a point I do want to quickly roll back to with the previous Andash article, pointing out the little story. I believe, Scott, you mentioned it briefly, and I sort of accidentally glossed over and passed that.
Oh, yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
This little Dreamtime story of the sun and the moon.
Was the creation myth.
And the guardian watching over them, once standing tall, now made small. Hashtag guardian is a robot. That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
well, there was also well, who knows?
There's a lot, guardian is a robot.
I'm going to keep my cards to my chest.
Maybe
this is the one
it's
thing.
Just a metaphor.
Yeah. Look, I have so many.
Sometimes curtains are just blue, damn it.
Look, I have so many theories about different things. This is the one where no, this is the crackpot theory I live in of guardian equals robot.
Well,
every player is allowed one crackpot.
What I like about it, and the reason it kind of rang out as almost Dreamtime in style to me, is it's sort of similar to Indigenous Australian mythology, in which you have elements of the land as characters in the story, and and whether you take it literally or figuratively, I find that very interesting. You've got the sun, you've got the moon, and I was surprised that even what we know as an island to the west of Andash was involved as a character. It's just a very cool style of story.
Yeah, it's super neat. It does speak to, not even necessarily exclusively to the Australian First Nations, like Dreamtime mythology and such, but it speaks to a lot of the sort of ancient indigenous cultures across a lot of the world. There's
I studied a bit of rock art archaeology. It is very. I love hearing, especially with all the talk of the old gods and Iron Valley cave paintings and stuff. I adore that because I adore rock art and all of that stuff in life as well. So I love hearing these kinds of myths too. I think just it's cool that once again they don't have to go this far. They don't have to build this richer world, but they're doing it, and that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
They don't have to give wiggly words.
You also heard it here, folks. First, Brazil likes to eat rocks, and he likes rocks with art on them.
I just like rocks. What's not like to rocks? Hello?
Brazil del Panoply. I just like rocks.
I just like rocks. They're cool.
23.
Hey, Scott's a fucking geologist. He likes rocks way more than I do, to be fair.
I'm just keeping quiet about that.
That's kind of baller. I'm gonna talk to you about that.
You're the real rock eater,
Look,
Scott.
that's why I was getting annoyed when you were saying it would be a silicate rock from the desert. But let's carry on.
Fair.
I know. I was pulling shit out of my ass as usual.
Right. Yeah. So we also have the We have some, so we have the dig at the Kodari Temple. It's also going forward quite well.
Yeah.
There are going to be some Kodari Temple items on the auction, which is spooky because I still don't know if the things coming out of the Kodari Temple are unique items from the old world, or if these are just, hints through the existing artisan items we already have of what could have gone down there.
I swear, if children are able to buy these artifacts like they did with the unicorn horns, I swear.
Well,
because I am.
Well, you gotta get your money together and outbid the children, obviously.
I am not opposed to outbidding a child.
I would upset a child.
You've heard it here first. Melody, willing to outbid a child, 2023, September.
I am the oldest child of 3 siblings. I have gone to war, and I have come back bloody and bruised, okay? I know children are capable of despicable things, cunning planning, and get away with it with their baby doll eyes.
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
Let's outbid them. This seems like children are the enemy here. We need to declare war on the academy, obviously.
Because what I was about to say is if you are bidding against these kids, they're probably buying shit like terminal swords from Kadiri.
They brought a nightmare horn that basically had a aura effect of giving nightmares.
That's awesome.
But why do you want that?
They brought the unicorn horn, which I don't know
Yeah,
what
why would
magical
you need
effect
that?
it had, but it had one.
Why do you want that?
Why do you need a nightmare horn? Are you gonna give somebody nightmares?
A 7-year-old
This is
is
the
out
big
there
trial.
somewhere in the Concord with a nightmare horn.
Well,
That might explain all the nightmares I've been having.
Speaking of nightmares, or they're the lack of, we also have a holy site in Dash that has been fixed after the Zerkatal beat the living shit out of it. That's kind of awesome.
That means if you want to become a fucking paragon, you better go there.
Yeah, we have the sanctification of Abd Kalar. Very cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
we can do our births, deaths, and marriages again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that Water Place has been made happy again. Love Water Place. Good place. Good place for a bath.
Praise the water.
The forever bath.
Forever bath sounds nice. I'd go to the forever bath.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
One day.
What we all-
Right. So, Beastly Burdens. Bordavar. The,
Okay.
Okay, so, basically the Beastly
I am
Bordavar...
going to wait for everyone to read over this
Yeah.
and to find a very specific name.
Yep. So, put simply, the Beast of Bordavar has continued to make itself a nuisance, including eating a bunch of livestock and drinking a shit ton of wine.
That sounds
Has
awesome.
broken into a noble's winery and made it all the way to the south western edge, I think. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, the
Like, my main point here is, I think this is just a frat, bro. Like, he's just
sounds
eating a lot
like
of
it, yeah.
protein and
Just
just
a
getting
hungry
drunk.
guy.
He's just a dude. Like, and he also kind of suggests, like, this thing has a degree of intelligence. So, like, is this just Bigfoot with it just got really hangry?
It's like, you know how like in regular history, there's lots of like sightings of weird shit, but like you could probably suss out that a lot of the time it's just like, oh, it's just a homeless guy. Just, he really fucked up this town, but he like stole a bunch of money, he got away with it, and now he's in the history books as like a werewolf or something. But it's like, we're gonna find out that it's literally just some fucking random like tiger or something somewhere. Just like a regular animal. It's just eating a lot of shit.
If I may describe the physical appearance of this creature, which isn't written in Winter the World, but yeah,
Okay, might be good information. I don't know.
this is a very large, thick, humanoid creature with skin as hard as stone.
Well, that's just a dragon. Okay, it's obviously a dragon then, right?
Jimmy?
It is bipedal. It does not have a tail. It
Hey,
has
Finn, are you in need of a dragon slayer? I'm just saying, alright? I've been reading about
Jimmy?
it, okay?
Up on the shelf.
I
Sit there for a bit.
have the respect to finish.
What does that mean?
Let it finish, please.
You don't know
Okay.
the word respect. Brilliant. Anyway. It is a very humanoid shape, okay? It has 2 legs it walks on, it has 2 arms with large claws, and it carries a club, and it has malformed wings on its back. And its hide is incredibly tough. There are people in the Greenville believing that this might be a gargoyle, But yeah, this is definitely larger than the average human. Like, yeah.
It's kind of got a bit of everything, doesn't it?
This is the question: do we know what kind of wings? Do we know if they're leathery, bat style? Do we know if they're feathered?
The only description attached to the wings was malformed.
Interesting.
Which could be anything, frankly.
I mean, it's also come from the Greenwield, and it's wielding a weapon, and like I said, clearly has some level of intelligence.
Yeah. It carries around a club.
I love how it's getting the sheriff as
into
well.
my house!
Yes, and our own vid whisperers, along with the sheriff, have been entered into a altercation of fucky wucky.
That's kind of awesome. That you get to be like those people on television.
This was backed into my house.
Like a Bigfoot sighting.
Except
They were just there over the ridge.
There and violent and hungry.
I'm not saying that Bigfoot. I mean, you don't know. There could have been something big and violent and hungry. It's probably a bear.
In comparison, this is infinitely more tangible.
Yeah, this one's got a club. Bigfoot, he didn't have
and
tools
wings.
yet. That's also true. I wonder if they work.
Well, malformed, probably.
I would definitely say that this creature is likely larger than a Bigfoot, especially if it was able to break into a noble's winery.
And it is eating a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's weird because it's like this could be anything. This could be, this could be connected to weird bat statue in the Greenwield. This could be something connected to that.
Oh shit! I never even thought of that.
You're welcome. This is what I do. This is how my brain works.
It is a dead bat god, though.
Yeah, but malformed wings.
You don't know if this one's particularly alive.
We don't know what this thing is. That's again. I'm pointing out it could be an interesting connection, but we ultimately just don't know.
Could be.
Which is
My money's on fucked up dragon.
We don't have the name of its species. It is just nicknamed the wolf den brute because it came from the wolf den, which is a forest along the southern edge of Bordeaux.
Mm-hmm. And it also really likes brute brand aftershave.
Yeah.
Sorry, the joke needed to be made. And it likes clubbing.
Oh,
okay.
My life is in shambles, and all we can do is laugh.
All we can ever do is laugh, right?
I mean, look, we have to chase away the pain somehow, and laughter is all we have for the most part. It's either that or alcoholism. It's one of the two.
It's true.
Now I need to invest money into fixing my investment so it functions.
I mean, what your investment's tier 1, tier 2?
Tier 1.
So it's not that expensive.
Not everyone's as wealthy as us, though, right?
Compared to the sheriff's tier 3?
Oh shit!
No.
Poor guy, can't catch a break.
Alright, fair. Okay, 6 locks is kind of a big boy.
But yeah, it is definitely frustrating.
Indeed. But it's nice to see. Yeah, it's nice to see that the Duke has finally caved and just gone, alright, fine, fuck it, go deal with it.
No, that is not how the process works. Basically, how the process in Bordeaux works is that anything that comes out of the Wolf Den Woods, animal or monster, is classified as game, and to avoid basically poachers and over hunting of the Wolf Den Woods, you need permission from the Duke of Heartsgrave or the Duke of Starscar, depending on which part of the wood you are wanting to slay a animal or monster in, because many Wanted Me Knights will want to show their valor of strength, of courage, so on and so forth. And that can very easily be done by slaying a monster or a animal.
Sure.
Why don't you slay it? That looked good,
I am
right?
part of the hunting party. But basically there needs to be a process to it, which does make it a bit difficult. That Duke Aelin basically has to write a full-on list of these people have my permission to hunt and kill this beast. And basically send it to the Wise Council. The Wise Council reads over it, gives a thumbs up to the people who are allowed to slay this beast.
Yeah, I did just read that particular part of it was not made open game. It has been specifically herded to one particular spot, is being kept fed and under guard for specifically, notable squires and such to go and earn their value.
Yeah.
Which is a little fucked up.
Yeah, what the hell?
A little bit.
It's gonna be
I understand.
It's gonna be some kind of animal rights abuse.
Yeah,
right?
I understand. It is, it's done a lot of damage. It's hurt a lot of people. But this seems a little, I don't know, cheating. If that makes sense.
I feel like if you're gonna hunt something, you gotta finish the job in the hunt.
Yeah, like you're not hunting it. It's just being kept there.
I feel like hunting is the more significant part.
So we are meant to let this monster just ravage Wayland while we are facing off 40,000 undead.
No, all it would take is one brave, righteous hero, and then it would be solved. Problem solved.
Weird idea. Have a
This
team
wolf
keep it into the woods.
Single-handedly fucking disabled 3 rangers. They are no longer archers.
Alright, we'll get 4 people. I don't know.
Look, it is also worth noting that it was made clear the threat was not, it was not properly gauged initially, and it quickly escalated.
It is obviously going to be a larger hunting party than 3 or 4 people, okay? There are basically going to be 2 bands going after it.
It's like a competition.
It's not a competition, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, the commoners who are fucking fed up with this thing want to have a throw at killing it, and it is also a very good monster to gauge the valors of those who want to be knights. Okay?
Sure.
And that was the toss-up of who should be allowed to hunt this. The commoners, farmers that have had been damaged badly because of this fruit, and thus be able to carve and possibly sell its parts or whatever. Like this thing is gonna get absolutely harvested for materials and trophies when it is killed. Okay?
Nice. Will that be up on the auction house too? I'll buy some horns. I don't know.
Not
Who knows?
everything is up for sale. Some things are earned. Okay.
Like what? Oh, Luke, it's my first life. Can we do a 3rd episode?
Yep, that's exactly the point I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Thank you.
time will be arranged for a part 3. I'm sure it can be managed. At some
I will
point.
not forget this, Jimmy. I will bring this up next episode.
What up?
I will sort of bookend this particular article with the note that There will be a conflux to help hopefully deal with the Wolfden Brute once and for all, along with the decision of the Duke to, or at least the particular Duke at the time, to empower, as it were, military investments, and thusly, the bane and boon situation. The boon being given to military investments, and the bane to wilderness investments, which just means military investments will be a little more powerful. Wilderness investments will not be. Pretty straightforward.
We quite literally only have one wilderness investment, so it's not much of a loss.
Indeed. But yeah, we will continue this on a future episode. This one ended up having a lot more kind of going on. Also, time stuff and food. I'm rather hungry at this point.
And apparently Jimmy needs to recharge.
I do. I haven't eaten. Oh, shit, I haven't eaten anything today. I haven't eaten for like 24 hours. It's fine.
You were expected to come on this podcast.
That's all I do eat.
That explains everything.
Yeah, very nutritious.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you to all three of you for jumping on this one.
No worries.
I'm very much looking forward to having you.
Thank you for having us, Luke.
Of course.
In our absolute chaos.
Oh yeah, it always is.
This one's gonna get like 500 views. Calling it.
Let it be noted that James Falzon has a hilarious, interesting view on the potential of situations.
It's true.
But yeah, this has been the Wanderer's Guide to Esterra. Thank you very much for listening, watching. Click the thing, hit the other button, leave a comment on the thing, do the thing. All the regular YouTube crap. Yeah. Take care. Remember, buy your tickets.
Yes.
I'm gonna do this all the damn time. Buy your tickets, please. Please buy your tickets.
So
Put some money
it does actually. If you haven't bought it yet, it feels really good to just buy it.
Yeah.
It felt really good.
Yeah. It's just
less stressful.
It's just done. And it puts money in the Concord coffer, which means they're able to do more.
It's less stress for them. Sorry, Sam. My bad. At least this time I actually used the Eventbrite website, or whatever it's called. Because I forgot last time and I just paid.
Naughty boy.
I'm a cheeky boy, I get away with it, alright?
For now. Yeah. We'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Luke. Bye-bye.